Welcome to Ma's Table Talk, the final episode 4. Tonight, we gather here for the final time at this table, and we speak about something we all know, but rarely anybody stops to truly understand, which is renown. In Azeroth, it's a number, a reputation, something we basically earn. But here, between us, it's something very, very different. It becomes the way people remember your name. It becomes the way your presence fills a room or a stream, or basically a quiet moment in somebody's day. For some, renown is built by kind of community or through community, for others through voice, personality, or storytelling. And sometimes it's built by simply showing up again and again with heart. So tonight I want to explore with all of you these forms, the visible ones, the invisible ones, the ones we don't even realize we're leaving behind. And I truly couldn't imagine a more beautiful group than these 4 people to share this with. So, because each of you represents a different kind of renown for all of us. So, before we begin, I'd love for each of you to introduce yourselves in your own words and tell us a bit more of who you are and what Azeroth means to you. So, Taliesin, Evital, do you want to kick it off?
No, I don't want to start. I don't want to say anything at all because anything I say will just ruin that. Are you kidding? Like, if someone's listening to that and doesn't know who we are, they're going to think we're brilliant now. And all I can do is jump off a cliff with that one. All I can do is ruin it. That's horrible. Don't expose me like that. That's disgusting.
No, we are Talius and Evitel. We have been. This is our 10th year of making YouTube content around
Gosh,
WoW.
it is. Oh,
this
my
is
word.
Our 7th year of streaming on Twitch. This is our 16th year of being 15th. How many years have you been together?
14th.
14th.
Yeah, 2012 we got together.
Yeah.
Olympic year.
Yeah.
I set a personal best.
you got the goal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We live together. We're married. We have 2 kids. We somehow managed to play WoW. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's a little picture of us when we.
My passport was.
Oh, and your passport. Yeah. This is us when we got married.
I don't see.
Hide my face. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
So
just a little
cute.
glimpse.
Yeah. And all of those kind of life events and milestones have happened kind of whilst the channel has been a thing, and so we kind of associate World of Warcraft and our community with all of those things.
Yeah,
and
they've been kind of linked since the beginning.
We're incredibly lucky. We've always had like a really passionate community kind of around the channel, and again, many of whom have been around for 10 years now, which is an incredible privilege, and probably goes some way to making us enjoy playing World of Warcraft more as well, if we're honest.
Yeah.
Here, that's amazing. Art?
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Artemia, but everyone calls me Art. I never actually started that name. I think my chat started that, but I just went along with it. I think it's cute. And I've been creating content for a while, about like almost a year and a half now. I started doing it mostly on Instagram and TikTok, a lot of like short form content, a lot of like really stupid stuff basically. And then I also decided to stream, and yeah, I've had honestly the best time so far. It's been so good. I really, really enjoy it.
Lovely. Thank you so much. AJ. Or
Hello.
sorry, Nemesis. I should say Nemesis here.
Yes. So hi, my name is Nemesis. I am new to the content creation space, but I am the creator / hearthkeeper of Homes of Azeroth. We are a WoW housing social community that I started back when WoW housing hit the live servers on retail. And from there, things just kind of exploded. It started as an Instagram account, kind of featuring the work of the community in large. And then very quickly, we, got a Discord set up. We got other social platforms running. We actually just hit over 600 people, which for me that's like a crazy amount of people to be joining in on something that I'm working on. And it has been fantastic. We've become a global group, so we have guilds in the NA and the EU. Our goal is to connect people across barriers, across cultures, and kind of just, gather with like-minded people who have really taken housing as the next step to kind of reconnect the communities of World of Warcraft. I think when it comes to the identity that it allows people to both portray for themselves and also express, we have these perpetual little pieces of our minds, that are out there. And from my perspective, I love being able to kind of highlight the work of the community and archive some of that content. So yeah, stuff around WoW. But in my real life, I'm a senior instructional designer at Apple. I create learning content and I run like global learning programs, and community building is a extension of a lot of the work that I do for myself. And so by being able to, kind of bring some of that work sense into my personal life, it's been very, very therapeutic, and nice to just be able to kind of give back and help. But yeah.
Well, housing has turned out to be very therapeutic for many people, it seems. Basically, the
100%.
communities that happen through it are just amazing. I divided it into kind of topics for all of you. So I will name you the topic and I will then just ask you questions if that is okay with you guys. So basically, I was a proper reporter. I was like writing questions, stalking your socials and so on. So don't mind. Anyway, first topic would be what is Renown, right? Nemesis, when you hear Renown, right, do you think of numbers or do you think of something else like people? And did that meaning change once you started building Homes of Azeroth, which is now turning to be, an upcoming huge community?
Yeah. Numbers is always a part of everything, but when you're starting something for the first time and you've not seen or had those kinds of numbers before, for me, it's always much more about like the delivery, the impact, the intention behind like why doing some of these things are important. Renown to me, I think is something that it feels much more about the relationship piece of that, of your standing with said community, right? Or just understanding like how to bridge that kind of connection. Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Don't
Honestly,
worry,
I
that's an
think
amazing
Renown
answer.
is, it's not something, everyone can have their audiences, everyone can have their numbers, but I think the most important thing is, how people feel about the spaces that you participate in and encourage and create. So for me, that's kind of the big takeaway.
Amazing. Thank you. Taliesin and Evital, you kind of hinted already that you've been part of this space for a long time. Basically, my husband that's sitting right next to me is fangirling like major at the moment. So you are well known. What does Renown mean to you today compared to when you first started?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think when we came into the space, obviously we had so many creators that we'd been following for a long time and community members that we'd been following for a long time. And the thing that struck me when I started kind of, when we started gathering a community, and it got a bit scary at times. And also I'm not very good technically, as no one would have been able to work out. And I was always amazed no matter who I reached out to, there would always be an answer from anyone in the community, because whether it be Preach or Panda at the time, I remember
Trade Chat
for years and years and years, we had the exact same camera as Trade Chat with the exact same settings on our camera, simply because we thought she looked good.
Yeah, really.
And we sent her an email going, what camera do you use, and also what settings do you use? And she, bless her, had never heard of us, didn't know us from anyone, and sent us this really long reply with the camera, and she went through her camera and took a photo of every single page of the settings so we could just copy it. And I was like, anytime anyone wanted to touch the camera, I was like, don't do that, because that's That's trade chat settings, and I don't know how to put them back. It's always just been a lovely thing. And I remember the first time we met people like Scott Johnson, who'd been in the scene like since the absolute beginning. If you want, a definition of renown, it's Scott Johnson.
On the Instance podcast,
from the
right?
Instance, yeah. And have been met with nothing but kind of kindness and camaraderie and exactly what you'd expect from anyone in your guild. And it's amazing how that guild feeling kind of transposes itself to sort of anyone in the wider community after a while. It's like really exciting.
Yeah, and we felt like we started off and we felt really we were really like welcomed and supported by people, which felt incredible, and it gave us like momentum, and we kind of found like our people in the community as well. And we were kind of like hot young things 10 years ago. But now one of my favorite things is like we started getting into Instagram, right? And like we didn't have an Instagram for ages because I was like, this platform is like incompatible with the WoW community, right? I was like, WoW exists on like Twitter, and I get catty on Twitter. Maybe they're on other, and then I went onto Instagram and started like really building it up for us a bit, which we were late to, and saw this like incredible, like burgeoning community, like all of you guys are on, and like play such a beautiful, crucial part in, and I love that, and like I love seeing how people are just kind of creating these community spaces and like renown for themselves in new spaces for World of Warcraft.
And housing is so great for that, right? Because we've got the kind of communities on EU and NA, and like instantly now we've got these huge communities, neighborhoods which we all share, and it gives us this kind of in-game space that we didn't have before, which kind of facilitates those kind of connections that before we'd have only had through DMs or Discords or things like that, and we're not big on Discord, so for us that's been incredible. It's been really great.
And just like now hearing, like, it used to be my favorite thing to hear would be like, wow, you guys are so cool and young and new and love it, and now my favorite thing is like, oh hey, it's mom and dad.
That's been nice.
But it's funny that you say that you're not big on Insta. I did notice that you're not that big on Insta, even though for Insta for me personally is like the thing that worked the most. Either I'm that old or I don't know, but like Blue Sky and Facebook just didn't work for me, and I'm not a TikToker. I'm so sorry. I'll leave that to other people who are good with it. I'm really not a TikToker. So I'm like, Insta works for me, and I'm not out there for the numbers. So the number doesn't matter to me. It's basically all about the community, so to speak.
I think Insta's you're doing a great job on that.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, totally. Art, question for you. Renown often comes with visibility, yes? So, but also at the same time with expectations. Do you feel like people see you or the persona that you present?
Well, so for me, it was more like, so when I started this, I used to create content that was fashion related, so something completely different. And I just really kind of felt like that isn't really who I am. And WoW has always been such a huge part of my life, and I really wanted to make content about it. And I just kind of felt like a little bit that there's this, because WoW has such a huge queer community. But I felt like I wasn't connecting to it. I felt like I didn't find my people yet, and like I'm like looking for them, because like this game is it just takes up like so much time of my life. And so I started creating this content, and I purposefully leaned so hard into it. Like everything had to be gay. I really leaned into it because I just really wanted to find my people, and it worked. It's been
somebody got nominated for something, so it obviously worked.
So it found the people that I really was looking for, and I get emotional like regularly just seeing them hang out on Discord. Like they always come into my stream and they go, "Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for for doing this." And it always feels, I always get really emotional. Like today they were meeting up like in Paris together, and it's just like my heart like bursts out with joy. It's just really cute. But it definitely also comes with the visibility part. So I do definitely also, as much good as I attract, I definitely also attract a lot of the bad stuff. I mean, everyone does that when you're on social media. That's just kind
Yeah.
of like a part that comes with it. But being so visibly queer in the World of Warcraft space has definitely been challenging sometimes.
Yeah. I get that.
But also, like, I don't really care. Like, stay mad.
Well, that's
That
good. That's good.
that nonchalantness that you have with that is honestly like part of the reason why I felt comfortable starting too. Like, I had been watching your stream and participating in chat and things like that before starting any of the Homes of Azeroth stuff. And you were the first content creator that I had seen myself in terms of your identity and your
That's really
expression and
cute.
the
Thank you.
the things that you find funny and all of that kind of stuff. And it kind of just showed me like, oh wow, like
Yeah.
this is the time for people like us to be able to kind of come out and start making content. For so long, it felt like there wasn't any room left for creators with that kind of identity or that kind of voice. And I'm just so thankful for it. And to hear you, kind of talk about that from your side too, it's just, look around you, because not only is it impactful for you, but you're also kind of setting that standard for other people around you. And I can't tell you how many people come to me and say like that they started watching you and they got inspired to start making
Aw,
content
that's
and
really
all of these
cute.
things, So
Well, for me personally, it was also a full circle moment to have you three, well, you four, Taliesin and Evitel. I see you as one. There is like no Tally and Evitel. There's like just
That's fair
Taliesin and
enough. Yeah,
Evitel.
so do we.
So you're one for me.
Yeah.
That's it. But for me, it was a full circle too, because art has actually made me famous or brought me out there, because when he commented on my restaurant, my in-game restaurant, it went, like 40K views. I think that's where we're at on Insta.
Because I loved
So
your
he was
pants. Your
kind of the
pants were
one
so
that,
beautiful.
yeah, the pans in the fridge. The fridge was the gag.
Yeah, the fridge blew me
But
away, actually. Yeah.
yeah, and Taliesin and Evitel, you were basically the first kind of bigger streamers that I watched through my husband, because he was like, "Oh, Taliesin and Evitel have a video. Come watch with me." And I'm like, "Okay, sure." So I watched you, and I grew up with you, kind of. So that whole kind of Maz table talk persona, or me doing this, is actually thanks to you, because I was like, "Oh, I want to do this. It looks so fun," because you always look like you're having so much fun while doing it. And AJ has become an amazing friend through meeting him through housing, and so it's a full circle. But let's move on, because we're getting ahead of ourselves. Second topic would be what's really important: community and growth, right? Art, let's stay at the topic quickly. Your community kind of connects strongly to your personality, as you said. So how do you keep that connection real while also growing, perpetually?
So I've always kind of felt like sometimes it can be quite exhausting to be a World of Warcraft fan, because there genuinely is a lot of negativity in the community to the game. Like, people will always find, like, well, I don't want to talk about this too much, but you guys know exactly what I mean. And I just kind of I've always like really like looked up to creators like Tally and Evie, and if you guys know Hazelnutty Games, like people that are in general just bring like a positive vibe like to the game.
a
And
whimsicalness.
yes, and I was like, so I wanna do that too, I wanna do that too. But I also told myself I want to be as authentically myself as I can. So like, because I see like a lot of social media, people will obviously try to portray like, one picture, which is fine. Everyone's allowed to do what they want. But I really wanted people to sort of like get this feeling when they're watching my stream or my content, that they're kind of like FaceTiming with their best friend, like where it feels like, okay, they can finally like breathe a little easier. They can calm down. They can hang out here. We can talk about like anything basically, and just sort of like provide that like safe space for them. And obviously that also comes with just being visibly queer at the same time too. So I think all of these things together just kind of like made my community grow. And like, I remember my friend would always say, eventually the right people will find you. Because the beginning, people didn't really get it. People were like, wait, what are you doing here? What happened to World of Warcraft? Blah, blah, blah. And I mean, eventually the right people found me. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Talias and Evital, how do you stay connected to your community after so many years without losing, that original spark? because you still got it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of links in with what Artemi was just saying, in that we've been really careful with how we've got a privilege that we can kind of curate our community a little bit, and we've always worked really hard to do that, particularly when we kind of went into streaming as well, which is a much more kind of personal, face-to-face kind of interaction, really, you know. And it's that thing of like, whenever I would start watching a new streamer and start enjoying them, I'd always slightly be on edge, because I'd be really enjoying this person, their personality, and then I just always be waiting for them to make like a gamer comment, right? Always waiting for them to say something which just made me go, oh my god. And I just, when we started streaming, I just didn't want that to be the case, and I was like, I wanted to make it incredibly clear that our stream was safe in that sense, in that not only would we not say anything like that, but we would have like a zero tolerance for people who did, because you know, exactly, because like we're grown ass adults, and like we're, from the very beginning we've been known as and been quite open with how kind of progressive and stuff we are. And I'm a theatre kid, you're a music kid, so and you know, we like,
I'm a band kid.
And so we our kind of reputation changed a bit when we started streaming to, on my part, being quite combative. A lot of people were quite surprised with the kind of the vehemence with which I would happily kind of chase people out of the stream if I felt they were expressing views which just, you know, didn't belong in any social space, frankly. I don't know why we're so cool with it in streams. Like, so like I think
completely agree.
You know, exactly. And I'm that we maybe could have made a bit more money if we hadn't done that, but maybe not. But no, but I think in relation to the question, I think that has created a very loyal community who feel safe with us and know that our space is safe, and know that we're not just going to like throw them under the bus or something, right? And I think that's really important, because it gives you space with your community to grow together, like not always having to kind of be what you think your community wants from you. Again, it comes to like just being yourself and being true to yourself and stuff like that. And because we've got a bunch of really cool people in our community, we have that space. And you see some communities who, you know, it has, because it's exciting when lots of people start following you and lots of people start saying nice things about you. And some of those people you wouldn't want really to be involved with, but you're like, oh, I shouldn't offend them, I shouldn't, you know, I just keep quiet about that. And you can see it with some people, not necessarily in the WoW community, but all over, right? They'll start playing to those elements of the audience and they suddenly become the worst people in the world, and you're like, it's I think it's important to kind of be really adamant about the things that you believe in.
Just be like really clear about what is okay and what isn't. And like, and because we've been doing this for so long, for so many years, like some, you know, coming back to this idea of community, like, you know, some people have been around for that whole time, which is wild. Some people take off, some people have stopped playing WoW, some people have moved on to like other things, some people just don't want to watch us or our faces anymore, and that's totally normal. And like, and sometimes some people come back.
That's the best thing.
Which is the most kind of amazing feeling. Someone to be like, oh, you know, my dad got me back into you or something, right? There'll be this kind of
there's this really lovely position where our videos in particular kind of hold now, which I'm noticing a lot in comments, is that, you know, there's a whole bunch of people that they play WoW for a bit and they go away, maybe for years and years and years at a time, and then they come back and they do all the things that they do when they come back to WoW, right? So they dust off their old character, they check out their old guild again, and they kind of check out all the new content. And for lots of people, we are one of those things on that list now. So it's like they come back to WoW and they get their old character out, and then they're questing, and they go, oh, I wonder if T&E is still making videos, right? And they go and check out how they, and it's like, and we are, and they're like, oh, hey, and it's like, it feels so lovely to be a part of some people's kind of going back to WoW process, you know? It's like,
but now your parents, you know, now some things shift, you know, some things change, but you know, your love for the game and your love for streaming and everything doesn't. So that is utterly amazing. Thank you so much.
Can I just quickly?
Yes.
Tali, what you just said with the tensing up thing, I relate to that so much. And I specifically remember I've watched your guys' content like a lot, but I've never really had the chance to like catch your stream. And this was before I started streaming, and I was watching your stream, and I think it was like 2 BlizzCons ago or something, and you guys were talking about how you're gonna go. And then someone in your chat asked you, a trans person, if it's safe for them to go to BlizzCon. And I instantly tensed up because I was ready for either someone to say something in the chat or like, I don't know. I didn't know like how you were going to react to that in stream. And I remember specifically you said, well, we can't exactly tell you if it is because we're not, we're not trans, but you said that you will do everything in your power to make sure that you provide a safe space. And I was like, oh my God, in love.
Thank
Love
you
it.
for that.
Love it. That's just so
Big thank you for
beautiful
that.
to
Big thank
hear.
you.
As a queer person, especially especially coming from like a traditional couple, that really was like, I loved it. It was perfect.
Oh,
Thank you.
That really means a lot to us too. I mean, we're like a just absolute like white bread cishet couple. Just, I mean, look at us. But if they're like, we want to think of ourselves as allies and we want to do whatever we can. So honestly, like hearing that just feels amazing. Also, come to BlizzCon.
I
We should all go
am.
to BlizzCon. Should we all hang out?
Yeah, just hang
He's
with us.
going.
Yeah.
Nemesis, you're building something that's growing incredibly fast. How has that affected, or did it affect at all the way you play WoW? Do you catch yourself maybe playing differently now, that you carry a whole community kind of with you at all times?
Yeah. Yes, I have definitely noticed my WoW playing change a lot. I think in the beginning, when working on creating the brand, creating the mission, setting up the social strategies and actually actionating on that and getting those out, I was working a lot on housing. I had spent a lot of time the past couple of years in SOD. I started a progression rating guild in MoP Classic. I went through the first phase of that with a 25-man team. And I was just coming off of a big attitude of min-maxing and super kind of competitive gameplay. And as someone who's always loved creative games, I play The Sims and Shrouded, City Skylines. The list can go on and on. Minecraft right now even. I love creativity. I do design work in my real life. So, when it comes to the things that I like to do, I'd really like to just create things. And I noticed that becoming really, really hard. It was just me for a very long time, kind of managing the NA guild, the EU guild, the 5 neighborhoods. It was a lot. And so I got a trusted team of officers to kind of help me also manage, a lot of like the invites and when people have questions and things like that, because I was getting to a point where yes, the scalability was there and there were systems in place for, the community to keep growing and for me to just keep doing the things that I wanted to do. But a big ethos I have is that I don't want people to fall between the cracks. I've fallen between the cracks in communities. Yeah. You find something that really connects with you and you're so excited to join, and maybe you didn't have a lot of friends before in the game and you join, and sometimes it can be really hard, right? Like there's a lot of cliques and internal friend groups and leaders who are friends with other people who give them special things and stuff like that, right? And especially in the rating culture with items and who gets what because of why and all that kind of stuff. So a big ethos for me was that no matter how big it felt, I wanted it to maintain that sense of community and not just, the buzzword community. I mean, like literally interpersonal skills, like having spaces to interact with strangers that you feel safe with immediately off the get-go. We're in a weird space right now because, we're a housing focused community, but like we have raid teams, people are doing Mythic Plus dungeon, key grinds, things like that. Yeah, we're doing a variety of other contents. And although I started this as just kind of like a way to kind of consolidate the topic of housing and showcase the work of what people were doing, we've now grown to be kind of an actual social community, right? That has all of these different branches and arms. So in saying that, yes, there was a period of time recently where I have not really been able to play, especially when Midnight came out. And honestly, that's been me now setting better boundaries for myself, like setting a specific amount of hours per day that I'm working on certain tasks. And then when a certain time of night comes around, I'm like, okay, this is my like turn the music all the way up, putting my headphones on D&D, on Discord, on Battle.net, and I am zenning out and reading these quests and playing this game because, you know, personally, that's what I really enjoy about new expansion packs. Is the story, the lore, the topics that we all love and sit in for so long moving forward. And I feel like a lot of people don't enjoy that about some of the games that we play. So personally, yes, I've been struggling, but also finding better time for myself now, which is nice. And I'm super thankful for our officer team. They're incredible.
Having good officers and moderators is always definitely a good thing.
100%.
Thank you. That was an amazing like take to the topic. Let's focus a bit on your personas and kind of persona themselves. Art, you have such a distinct self, you know, like when I saw you the first time, I was just blown away. You know, you're bold, you're playful, you're a little daring, like not a little, maybe a bit more than a little, but you are daring. Does the Artemer persona end somewhere and you begin, or is it like fully you or fully, you know, like are you fully transparent?
That's just me, babe. That's who I am.
That's you. Oh
I'm
my God, I
crazy.
love it.
No, I just like I love
She's just that girl.
I just love like meme culture in general and pop culture, and like, you know, like in the queer community in general, we kind of have like, you know, like our own slang and our own words and like our own memes we use. And I am
Yeah, Steve with the boots down.
Exactly. I am like part of that. So it's like, you know, like I remember making like one of my very first like transmog rating videos, and I called something cunty, and everyone was like, what is he talking about? But I was like, no, I'm not gonna change my language now, because like the divas that get it, you know, and the divas that don't are probably in the wrong space.
Highest
anyway.
form of compliment, honestly.
So I was like, you know, like I always thought that playing a character, because like we mask like at our jobs, right? Like I still work a corporate job, and I mask a lot there. Like you have to, you don't really have another choice, and that just uses up so much energy. And you know, and when I'm streaming and when I'm creating my content, I want to be myself, and because that doesn't cost that much energy. So I just it's easier at the end of the day. So yeah, basically what you see is pretty much who I am.
That's amazing. Nem, as a community leader, do you feel pressure kind of to present yourself a certain way when you're streaming or online, or when you're just in the community?
Personally, no, because I find myself in this role in a lot of the activities that I have done throughout my life. When I did like band in high school and stuff like that, I was band captain for most of my high school career. I always, you know, got first chair and kind of led a lot of the way that we would do things, etc. At work, I tend to sit at the table, but while everyone is doing their own thing, I'm kind of trying to solve the problems that we don't even know that we have yet. So no, honestly, because I feel the same way I did before I started this, honestly. And when it comes to the way that I present myself, I feel like if anything, I've been able to become more authentic and to reveal more layers of myself as it's grown, because I'm also getting comfortable, right? Like it's interesting putting yourself into the public space. But I'm trying to utilize a lot of the skills and things that I have from my experiences to kind of just bring me through it, to help ease some of that anxiety or stress. Sitting here and streaming right now helps me for when I do webinars at work, when I'm talking, you know, doing an all hands and presenting our findings on a project, right? So personally, it's, you know, it's symbiotic for me. And I see it as fully additive, you know, kind of contributing to the experience, making me better, feel better about the idea of hosting, of bringing people through experiences. When you want to design community, right, and try to bring people together, there's also this element of, you know, like interaction design, right? And what are you doing as a community to actually have those kinds of events and things that are going on, right? We could just have a neighborhood and all live together, but if we don't spend time hanging out
If
in
it were that
Discord
easy.
or right, right, but there's so many other things to that where it's not just the fact that we have a neighborhood, but it's the fact that people will now go on little walks outside their house and check out their neighbors' updates, and through that they can now reach out to someone on Discord and say, hey, I just saw your lawn, love the new changes that you made there. And think about that from how that can make the person feel who built that, right? Like any design game, any creative game that we play, a lot of the times like someone has to be invited to come see our creations. Like this is something where it's kind of perpetually online, right? So that it starts conversations, and I think that that's the really cool part about it. Sorry to ramble. I just love this
No,
stuff.
no, it's okay. We want to hear all of the experiences. Talias and Evidel, I actually have two questions I wanted to ask kind of each one of you. Evitel, does your role feel different behind the scenes compared to in front of the audience? Like, when you make videos or when you're behind the scenes, does it feel different?
Yeah, it's kind of what Nemesis was saying. Like, I have to say, when we started doing the channel, if you watch videos, please don't, from when we started, I was so nervous and I was so bad. And I was like, I had this like really big hang up about this idea of like authenticity and like performing. And Tally is an actor, that was his background. But, I was an art historian. I was more kind of behind the scenes in kind of my role. Like, my actual job then was I could have a kind of more public facing side, but most of the time I was doing like research. I was planning things, I was dreaming things, I was making things in the background, and I wasn't actually like being the face of anything. And so I probably one of like the most wonderful things about doing this together and doing this channel is that I have like never felt more like myself than I am now.
God.
And maybe that's because
Amazing.
I'm in my 30s. Maybe that's because I'm in my late 30s. Like maybe I just
I'd say mid 30s. Yeah.
You're 29, girl. 29.
So 21. Got it.
Thanks, Naz. Yeah, you get it. But yeah, so there was always this thing that I was kind of grappling with, and for a long time I didn't tell anyone at work what I did, even when the channel was growing. Like I had my professional side, and then I had my side where I talk about a silly video game with my partner and I'm on the internet. And I remember there's like, I worked at like the Tate, I worked at like these galleries and stuff where I had to be like very cool, very serious. And there was a day where we had to do these presentations about ourselves as kind of like some icebreakers at a kind of team building exercise. And one girl was like, hey, I do like hip hop dance. And everyone's like, oh, wow, that's actually really, that's actually super cool. Like, learning things about each other, even though that we've been working together for so long. And I put together this whole presentation, like a PowerPoint of like, and this is when I went to BlizzCon. And this is when I talked in front of like, 20,000 people at BlizzCon. Love. And everyone was like, what?
That's so badass.
Really
I love
that is like really bad. She said, "Here,
way.
Let me show you what I do."
yeah. Of kind of answering your question, but so like I think there was a time when I felt more behind the scenes was kind of where I felt more at ease. But now I really feel like they're one in the same for me. Like I really enjoy doing this. I really enjoy the kind of the face-to-face element. I
love making the videos, right? You look amazing in them.
Oh, thank you. It's just good lighting. It's just good camera work.
No,
sitting next to me brings out all your best qualities. Like, everyone looks good when they sit next to me.
That's why I married you.
When a guy tells you that you look good, don't listen to it. But when a fellow woman tells you that you're good, believe it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel now. I feel I really enjoy doing both, and I feel like who I am comes through in both of them a lot more now, and that has just made me generally happier and more at ease.
I love
And
that.
yeah.
That's
I love that too.
amazing. Thank you so much. Taliesin, are you the same storyteller off camera as you are on it?
Yeah, and not only that, I tell the same stories as well. I've only got about 3, and just tell them over and over again, as anyone on my stream will know.
Oh, you're a great storyteller for our kids.
Oh, well, true.
Well,
Yes,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
I
just
mean, I
wanted to
come
ask.
from-
That must be amazing for bedtime.
Yeah, or not if you actually want to get to bed, I guess. But like, it's yeah, I come from a family of sort of performers, I guess, and you know, my parents are both on a small kind of scale, like award-winning actors and directors. My brother is an actor, and my grandmother was a singer, and so it's always just been a part of my life to kind of, you know, I was always the kid in school who was like, I was nervous about everything, but for some reason I was always the one that was like, oh, there's some talking that needs doing. I'll stand up on the chair and I'll do it. And I'll, which is not really a reflection of what I'm like in any other sense. But when I'm in that kind of environment, for some reason, I'm like the person who will take a step forward and put my hand up. But so yeah, I guess, like, you know, some of my earliest memories are kind of being in the pub theatre that my parents used to run in London, and seeing productions and being in them and stuff like that. So I guess I've like had a lot of privilege in that sense. And yeah, I feel like when we started the channel, coming out of drama school as I had as well, and having worked in that industry, I guess, if not like skills, it gave us a different perspective maybe, and you know, a kind of a sense of wanting to have a presentation and wanting to be very like true to ourselves, but to also like create something which was a show.
Yeah, to perform.
You know, yeah,
right?
exactly.
To go the extra mile.
Yeah, which I think
Yeah.
there was not much of in the WoW space at the time. And that, you know, it's always felt very satisfying to do that, and I feel like we're at our best when we're doing that. So yeah, and the streams are the same thing. I just love kind of chatting and talking and telling stories, and yeah, giving something like a sense of the dramatic, which I'm failing at right now, but generally I have like a dramatic streak about me, which I can,
You definitely have a dramatic streak about you.
infusing things with, you know, a sense of import and drama.
Have you seen your Twitter lately?
Well, I was present on the treadmill stream, and I was just like, the drama that was there. It was there, all right.
Yeah, well, because Effie was talking about it, and she was saying, I've got some ideas for a treadmill. And I was like, those are brilliant. I can't wait to do that on stream. But then you weren't going to do it. And I was like, are you kidding? And I had to I was like, as if we're not doing that. A, we're saving it to the end because I know it's going to be an absolute banger. And like, so it's just that sense of like structure and like kind of, and likewise, yeah, when we're writing videos, we still get this thing, as anyone who writes kind of a structured video does, I guess, of a lot of comments right at the very beginning of, hey, why are you saying that? Why? That's not your opinion. Surely that's terrible. And it's like, no, that's rhetoric. You set up a question.
God.
You go, is this the thing? And everyone's like, no, you idiot. Of course not. And then you go, and then you get to that later, right? And then you answer the question. That's essay structure, right? It's like, but it catches people off guard still on the internet for some reason.
You're basically writing a play at this point. It's like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Well, I am a published playwright as well, so I mean,
well, there you go. I didn't know that.
He said, "Get it right on my name."
So when we were doing the videos and we started doing the weekly reset and stuff, which I was going to scrap after a couple of episodes, I wasn't enjoying it at all. And it was actually Mr. GM who just put in a tweet to us one day, like, "Oh, well, you've got the weekly reset. Like, you're sorted. That's great content." And I was like, "Oh, okay." But the day we got the green screen out for the first time for the weekly reset was when I was like, "Oh." oh, this is it. This is what I want to be doing. This is this is the fun stuff. So yeah, it's finding that kind of outlet for creativity and stuff, and yeah, it's nice.
Okay, so you are definitely the same storyteller, like off camera.
Yeah, like when I was an actor, the thing about being an actor, and I'm sorry, I'll keep this really short, but when I was an actor, it's this weird thing where you have to be given permission anytime you want to act. Right. If you're a writer, which is why I went into writing as well. If you're a writer or like a painter or a musician or anything else, you can write a book, you can write a song, and no one might buy it, but you've got it and you can put it in a drawer somewhere and maybe you'll sell it or something one day, or, you just enjoy the fruits of your labor. Whereas acting, you literally can't do it unless someone lets you. Like they have to give you the job and then you have to get directed, and it might, you might get directed to do something you didn't want to do and stuff like that. So the amazing thing when we started the channel was all the control that I suddenly had over the creative process as well, which I wasn't
could be
used
anybody
to.
you wanted to be, right?
Exactly. And that felt amazing as well. So that was incredibly freeing.
Of course. Well, it's amazing that basically having a community and what you do and who you are as a person is actually kind of, you just are who you are and the community loves you for it. That has always been, an amazing thing. That leads me exactly to the next topic that I wanted to talk about, which was impact, kind of. Art, has there been a moment where you realized your impact went beyond just entertainment on your streams?
Yes. I mean, it goes in two ways. So like, I definitely had to learn that people on the internet will sometimes not understand the most obvious joke you're making. Like, you can be super obvious about a joke. People will manage to somehow misunderstand it. I remember I was receiving like serious like threats over a video where I made a joke about how Sylvanas comes back from the maw as like this pop girl and she saves us from like angsty Anduin, and people were sending me threats over that. Like, it's just like, that truly was like, okay, like, that's something I had to really learn. Like you make an impact on the internet and not everyone's going to understand it, even if it's the most obvious thing in your opinion. So that, but then the other part, obviously, like the more wholesome part, I've definitely noticed that when people come into my stream and they tell me like, I'm just really happy that you're here, I'm happy you're creating this space, and people will write me like really long messages. I get those quite often, and I always make sure to read through them, and I always try to also answer them, because that truly is what kind of like keeps me going. And I'm also just a huge crybaby. I'm a really, really, really emotional person. I get like teary-eyed on stream a lot when people are like telling me these things, and also I feel like people, I don't know if that's just my experience, but people have a like really easy time opening up to me in a way. And it's not even
the internet.
It's not even parasocial. It's more just like people kind of feel really safe to share stuff with me. And I don't know, I love that I give off that energy. That's always what I want it. And yeah, that type of impact definitely feels really rewarding.
I do remember you saying in the stream once, because I keep lurking all of you guys, just FYI. So I like, just so you know. But you said in the stream once that you got recognized on the street, right?
God.
I'm just reminding you, I'm lurking.
No, it wasn't even it wasn't even on the street. It's more embarrassing. Somebody it was on a dating app. And they pretended it did. They kind of pretended first that they didn't know who I am.
Grinder girl.
And then they basically were like, so this is what it looks like, basically like my room. And I was like, okay, this is really weird. So yeah, so that was something that I didn't think was ever gonna happen to me, but it happened. Yeah.
Was it okay in the end? Was it like a weird?
No. It wasn't like a threatening situation.
Okay.
They were interested before, but they just didn't want they didn't want to create that weird dynamic where it's like, oh, you watch, because it's really weird when someone like watches your streams, and but you don't know them because I'm very open on my streams. I mean, you guys can probably tell right now. Like I talk about everything, and then
Yep.
people will know stuff about me that I forget I shared, and they'll be like, "Oh, was that when you went like skiing with your mom?" And I'm like, "Wait, what? Like what?" Like maybe I'm a little too comfortable sometimes. I don't know.
Well, yeah. It doesn't matter. You just be you. That's what's most
Yeah.
important, right? So, Nemesis, when people join your community, what do you hope they feel in that first moment, or, first, like, let's say day?
A fresh breath of air, honestly. I hope that people kind of immediately see kind of like almost the opportunity of it all. And I mean that in the sense of like the ability to make connection, the ability to ask questions without, being afraid of how stupid your question may seem or someone responding, it being like, why would you ask that? It's on Wowhead, like go figure it out, right? I think we've done a fantastic job of curating a space where whether it be through the instructions that they read to help them through an experience, or it be, every time someone joins the Discord server, I personally will send the little like, hey, welcome in kind of thing for every person.
Yeah, he really
And other
does.
people, they join in on this too, because I feel like it's, you're kind of establishing like, I see you. I see you entering this community. It's a lot of people have it set up to be automatic, and I think that that can be really nice. But personally, I think that there's just like this human element of like, regardless of how many followers you have, you can be a content creator, you can be no socials, just a typical WoW player. Regardless of all of that, like you're welcome into the space, and we all sit at the same shared table together. That's what I hope that they feel and kind of take away in their first day, because I've been in communities where you enter and you're shoved to the corner to watch everyone at the table making decisions and participating and having fun. And because you're an outsider, right? Like you have to earn your way through some sort
Yeah, you
of
have to write in
metaphysical
chat
kind of
thing.
ranks or whatever. Yeah. And for me, it's like, if you joined my community day one and you're posting your house, and if your house is like amazing, I'm posting it that day. It doesn't matter to me that you've been, in the community for a day or if you've been in it for 3 months, because at the end of the day, I think it's much more about like the connections that people can make through this space, right? Um, Back on the topic of identity that we were talking about a little bit earlier, I struggle sometimes because a lot of this and the brand and everything is disassociated from me. So when I say Nemesis, sometimes I feel like, there's a little bit of confusion there, right? Even right now, I'm streaming from the Homes of Azeroth account. And all of that was intentional because I wasn't looking to be a creator myself. I wasn't looking to, kind of put my name out there. I was looking to kind of create a space where people could come and do that for themselves. And I think I find it so funny. Ma always calls me the OBS king. I have never used OBS before. I started using OBS 2 months ago. This is my 5th stream. Like I
He
don't.
literally had to start using it and learning how to use it, because all of us were like, "Oh my God, help! We're streaming. We don't know what we're
Yeah.
doing. Help us!"
I taught myself how to use it because it was just like I learned best by having a reason to learn, right? And to help people is such a huge. I feel like all we do in this world is consume, and I've just been reflecting on that in every sense. And if there's anything that I can contribute to this crazy system that is here, whether it be, my local community or it be the digital ecosphere that we all participate in, I believe that we should be sharing like empathy, kindness. I believe that we should be encouraging people to do things the way that they want. I've been very strict about, Homes of Azeroth is a cozy community. And when you say that, I think it kind of comes with some weight. Like we're not trying to rush through things. We're not trying to be cutting edge. We're trying to be, accessible for all. Not everybody knows how to use Discord, right? So when I set up a poll, I'll set it up for like a week because there's some people who are brand new, right? And they'll even make the activation of downloading Discord and making an account to join your community. So for me, it's much more about how can I accommodate everybody while also making sure that like the most activated persons have things for them to do and to feel tapped into the conversation and stuff. But then we're not forgetting about the least activated people, right? The ones that need the most hand holding. So
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Thank you so much. Taliesin and Evitel, you've shaped how many people experience WoW. Do you feel that responsibility sometimes or at times? Or like you're just like, no?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think we've kind of from the beginning, when we started kind of building a community around what we started making, and yeah, people were often like, "Oh, a couple you guys play video games?" Again, this is
He wears shirts.
He wears, yeah, and I remember people were so aghast that Tally wears button-up shirts. They were like, "Bro, what's that?" And we're like, "What?"
Prince Charles, what are you like?
I mean, this is 10 years ago, but that was kind of the culture, and people were like, "What, a girl? What, you're married? You put?
Oh
Are
my
you
God, really?
Well, no one ever said that. They were like,
no,
are they
people
brother
like,
and sister?
Are they brother and sister?
Oh,
No
God.
We still get
way.
sometimes. But we.
Oh, and we drank wine on
Oh
stream
yeah,
and stuff.
we
Like,
had
wine?
like a glass of wine. They're like,
What?
gamers.
Why are they
Drinking
pretending to like wine?
How dare they? They're fake gamers.
How dare y'all have
Yeah.
sophisticated palates?
So yeah, we kind of felt that from the beginning, but then also lots of people being like, "Hey, this is cool. My partner and I play WoW together,"
Yeah.
and people started like connecting with each other and with us, and yeah, like Tali was saying before, I think we've always felt a responsibility to like kind of cultivate who our chat and followers, and just being very clear about like what we believe in, and that kind of like self-regulates itself. And we've made friends through this. We've created connections. We've met, like we got to our guilds who we went on holiday, we all go on holiday together, and we've gone to each
Really? You
other's
go on holiday
weddings.
together?
And this is partly because of this, but it's mostly because of just WoW. Like it's the World of Warcraft thing. It's about finding your community within it. And we're lucky that kind of doing the channel was our way of finding our community, which was really cool. And
I think in relation to the question, like shaping the way people experience the game, I think there's two elements that I kind of think of in relation to that. One is like the cinematic analysis that we do, which I'm really proud not of as an analysis, because they're kind of bad, but I'm proud that people like them and get something from them, because it's kind of easy. It's easy to forget that like we have an interest in that kind of thing, like media analysis and stuff, and other people don't have that kind of background but would be very interested in it. And I remember that we put the first one out about the Jaina cinematic when that came out, just approaching it from a kind of GCSE level, like analytical kind of approach, and people really, since we started that series, have been incredibly into that. And I think
I love those
it does
videos.
help give some people some appreciation of something that they know they like, and they know that works, and they know, but they might not have the language to express sort of why or how. And so we can kind of give them that language and kind of like highlight things, which is really nice. And I think the other thing would be embracing the cringe. I think that there wasn't a lot of,
heavy on that.
there wasn't a lot of cringe when we first
big.
started, right? In WoW, it was a very like,
it was very anti-cringe.
it was very anti-cringe,
it was
right?
super
and,
macho. It was like,
and we came along,
Super
and
macho, yes.
the amount of comments we still get, but it used to be very much back in the day, which would be like, I thought you were pretty cringe, and I watched a few more videos, and you are. But actually, that's cool.
Okay.
That's it. That's
no,
cool.
but I think that's just being an older thing, right? And just being, as you get older, you get more comfortable in yourself. And like everyone knows that the coolest thing you can do is be cringe, right? Like the cringiest thing you can do is try and be cool, and the coolest thing you can do is be cringe. And like I think yeah, I think if we've played even a small part in making the WoW community more accepting of cringe and more being okay with not presenting like cool, then I think that's a great impact.
Yeah, a little bit of kitsch, a little bit of cringe.
Yeah. But on a personal level, and I'll keep this really quick as well, but like I'll never forget when we did our first BlizzCon and we did a signing with Wowhead, and we had the room, and that was the first time we'd really met a lot of people that kind of engaged with our content, and there was like a queue, and we had to kind of stay basically until they chucked us out so that we could meet everyone. But the thing that was amazing about that was that people in that queue became friends because they kind of recognized the names from the chat or the stream or the comments or what have you, and like there were people that hung out together at that BlizzCon because they kind of met in the queue to kind of get us to sign a post or whatever. And our friends now, you know, and I think that's incredible. And I think that's what it all comes down to. Is just those connections that the game facilitates. And housing is amazing. I was like, when housing came out, I was like, we have to get involved in this community, because this community is gonna give rise to the best type of WoW creator, like the kind of creator who is welcoming and kind of cerebral in the best way, and passionate, creative, and doesn't care about, you know, the things that I don't value, and does care about the things that I do value. And you're going to get the best communities in housing. It's going to be amazing, and that's absolutely
like
what's happening.
The housing creators are just I genuinely think that even Blizzard could not even imagine what the housing creators are pulling off at this point. Like there is builds where I'm looking at them and I'm like, I can see one chair that I recognize, but the rest I have no clue like how they do it. It is like I get invited to look at builds and I go in and I'm just like this. Like for 5 minutes, I'm just standing and looking at it. There's literally a clip of me just going, wow. I mean, wow. I mean, wow. Like, it's really like the stuff that is happening now, it's kind of bringing the community back together because people are just so genuinely talented. And these are the best kind of WoW players. It's not, you know, about numbers, about how much DPS you're pulling. If you're a, I don't know, night elf in Goldshire or whatever, it's about, you know, you showing off your talent or your creativity or yourself through your build. And then other people just loving it and loving you through your build for it. So it
transcends all those types of play as well, because there's not like a housing player. There, you know, like there are people who are world first raiders who love housing and engaging it, and there's people who are just role player. There are people who will only role play, and it's you know, that's their thing, and everything in between, you know. And I think that's 100%. One of the incredible things about it. But it's generally the nicest people in the community that kind of really get involved with housing, and I love that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Let's move to the topic of like upside and downside. Artemer, what are the biggest upsides of being known in WoW and across platforms, and what are the parts people don't see?
Oh, okay. Let me start off with the part that people don't see. I feel like some people think that when you sort of start getting a little bit of attention on Twitch and on social media, that you instantly are like making a lot of money, which is just not the case. So I'm definitely not in it for the money. Let's just say that. And also, people don't realize, like, when you are creating content. So there's I also always differentiate, like, streaming is one thing and then creating content on the side is another thing. So when you're doing all of those things, you really are like a one man or one woman show that has to learn everything. So I am not a tech person at all. I had to learn so many things. I didn't know what a capture card is. I didn't I barely know what an USB is. Like, there's you manage like the creative side.
USB.
You write scripts. Like, all of a sudden I need a second monitor, and like I have a teleprompter, and like I have a light, and you learn about like there's just so many things that you manage. And then people see like a funny clip and they think like that's kind of what you did, and like they kind of don't see like the work behind it. So that's definitely some things that people don't see. And sorry, what was the other one again?
What are the what are the
upsides.
biggest upsides basically of being known in WoW? Yeah.
the fact that I've made so many friends now in this game. So before that, like I said, I was like kind of looking for that like sort of queer part in the WoW space, and now like there's so many people in the Discord, and people are hanging out, people get to know each other. Like I said, people like three of them were meeting up today in Paris, and when I saw it, I genuinely teared up. Like I can't believe that because of sort of like this space that I've created, people's lives are now connecting. Like that just blows my mind. And
Yeah.
also that like I like get to like come home, and like I know they'll be on Discord, and I can hang out with them, and like we'll talk about WoW, or not even just about WoW, like about anything pretty much. Like I've found like new friends basically. That's definitely the biggest upside.
That's amazing. Nemesis, has growth ever brought doubt with it? Like moments where you questioned your path that you chose?
Yeah. And I think more because as housing came out, I didn't like to do beta things. I did experiment a little bit with it just to see the functionality of the tool. But when I made the account originally, it was kind of like a feature account, and we repeat, what was your question again? I'm sorry. You said
Well, has it ever brought doubt and like in like
yes. Okay. Yeah.
moments where you questioned your path, basically?
100%. So there was a period of time where it's like I was featuring the homes, and then, I made the Discord community, and we were starting to interact, and, you know, I was struggling a little bit because there had been so much traction that was coming from the Instagram account, and things like that, where I was like, well, what am I doing with this? Because I like to be really intentional around a lot of the things that I work on. I don't have a lot of time. So when I do have time, I want to make sure I'm dedicating it in like the best way that I can. And yeah, there was a period of time where I just was like, I don't really know what I want to do with this. But at the same time, I think that is how some of the best things kind of happen to us in life, is just by kind of going with it and adjusting and learning on the go, right? Because I think uh a lot of the ways that I found success is just by listening to the audience and kind of providing the things that like they want or need, right? So in the beginning, we started off as just a Discord community chatting. But then everyone started asking questions about neighborhoods, and I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. But like we could
Yeah.
all live together. And so, through that, just being open and malleable to change, I just have learned that like even if something doesn't seem like it's going right at the moment, or if maybe I don't understand the clear strategy of something, that doesn't mean that you can't still actionate on it and still move forward. I think we figure out the things that are meant for us, like as we continue to go through them. Even just the same with what Art just said, we function a little bit kind of like a business owner. And so you have a lot of things that you have to handle as a one man or one woman or one they them shop. And I just genuinely, I'm really thankful that I get to kind of practice and express all of these things, and that in doing so, I can help somebody. Like, I love this game. I'm going to keep playing this game. I love housing. I'm always going to be decorating. But to be able to connect people, to have them make friends, like that was, my big takeaway from creating this was like, I had been searching for social spaces that I felt welcome in for forever. I started playing WoW in 2008. I was 9. Like I have played this game for most of my life.
Youngsters.
And yeah, so to finally, I guess, yeah, just being able to say like, you don't always have to find the communities, right? But sometimes it's like by creating it yourself, you can find the people that you're meant to interact with. And same with Art mentioning authenticity. It's like, as I've continued doing this, I've realized that the more that I am myself, the better that this becomes, because other people are also showing that they can be themselves, and you can be wrong, you can be right, like we have grace as humans. I think there's so many things going on in the game, in the community, in the world, and like to offer some sort of relief away from some of those stressors, to kind of dip out and to just have fun girly pop time where you get dressed up with your friends and go slash walk and RP around, like I'm just incredibly thankful. So whether it's a good, kind of questioning about what's going on, or a bad questioning, I tend to just lean back to like being generally grateful for the opportunity to do this, and also the connections, right? Like having friends and being able to play games, and I finally have people to send memes to that actually get the memes about the game that I play. Like, and it's amazing. So
Yes, thank you for the 3 a.m. memes. I always appreciate them when I wake up. It's like every morning. Taliesin and Evital, I'm going to ask again 2 questions to each of you, and then 1 question for you together. Taliesin, has Renown ever felt overwhelming to you? I know you're outspoken, but has it ever been overwhelming?
Yeah, I guess. I think there are times when, you know, if a group of people are upset with you for whatever reason, there's this sense on the internet that, you know, it's not real people, right? So you can just kind of treat them however you want, sort of thing. And you know, we're grown-ups with lives and kids, and yeah, that can be kind of, in the earlier days, kind of harrowing, I guess. But then I think as you carry on with the job, you realize that it is just the internet, and sort of, we've never had a bad experience with actually meeting anyone. And it's very much like, and I'm sure somewhere along the line there have been people we've met who we've absolutely adored and had a lovely time with, who did write us really horrible things on the internet at some point. I'm sure there is a small crossover there. Like, people do that, right? Yeah, exactly. So I think in the early days, maybe, yeah. And likewise, having any kind of profile online is insane, because yeah, you do stop being a real person to a certain degree. The amount of times I sometimes have to go to Reddit to find, you know, comments for a shit show or something, and it's kind of cheating to go to Reddit. It's too easy. But you know, every now and then I'll come across something which is just literally like, oh yeah, Taliesin's all right, but he is a massive racist.
What?
And you just go, what did I do now? Like, what's it? And it's just like, yeah, there was this time when he basically just punched Evital on stream, and
that's my favorite. This man hates his wife.
Yeah, and it's just the lies people tell, and I'm sure in their head it comes from somewhere, right?
Because they're people too, right? Yeah, they are stressed, or they're angry, or they're like. I've
got a little trick, right? And so I'm sure there are loads and loads of people who hate us in the world, who have like a legitimate reason for hating us, right? And a legitimate reason is like, I hate his face, I hate his smile, his teeth are too gappy, his voice is annoying, he's completely wrong about WoW in every way. Those are good reasons for hating me. That's absolutely fine. I'm sure there's like lots of people that feel that way about me, and that's great. I'm saying me because obviously no one feels like that about Evital. She's a goddess. But like, but there's a common theme I've noticed between people who will take the time to tell me they hate me online, because that's a different breed of person, right? And so nothing wrong with hating me, that's fine. But it's a certain type of person that will make the effort to tell you. And like, you guys can hold on to this because it might come in useful in your lives as well. Is like, I've noticed that if I ever look at their profile, and I've done this live on stream to prove a point, it usually takes me about 10 seconds to find something incredibly racist or sexist or misogynistic in their tweet history, right?
100%.
And so that it becomes that thing of like, oh, okay, the right people hate me. This is okay. It's not so bad. It's all right. And that helps a lot, honestly. Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, we're very lucky. We're very insulated because we have a nice kind of life outside of it all as well, which is lovely.
That's amazing. And that's what's most important, actually.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Evital, do you feel the need to protect parts of your life more because of, you know, your renown, basically?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, our kids, right? You know, like, that's a whole, you know, sometimes they're cute, sometimes they like sneak upstairs and knock on the door and like sneak onto stream or whatever, which is precious. And like
how they got out of like the clasps and the binds, I don't know, but they did.
They get out of their cages and then they come out.
Here's another chicken bone, here's another fish head. Right?
So that's just a really obvious one, right? Where they kind of know what we do, and they know that we talk about video games online, which is kind of very exciting.
But how old are they now?
They're 4 and 6.
Okay,
Yeah, they're
okay.
tiny.
So
So
they still know, because I have a 2-year-old. Well, I have 3 kids, but the youngest is 2.5, and he is becoming more and more of like the real goat of my streams rather than I am, because
yeah, of course.
he's a gnome warrior, and every time I join somebody's stream, I'm like there, I'm happily chatting, and then suddenly I'm gone, and I'm like, I'm sorry, my gnome warrior is diaper storming my living room. I need to go. I'm so sorry. It's like just mental.
Yeah, I know, and that's why also why we keep them off, because they would be like the superstars, right? If they're here all the time. People
Oh
are
yeah, it's
like,
pure
no,
jealousy
you
that
know, it's
we're
just
like. Yeah, it's
yeah.
not really protection.
You're jealous, exactly.
So
How
yeah, so
dare
like
they?
that. Yeah, and like we've had flack online. We've had we've experienced all sorts of comments, threats, the things that come with being a person with a face online.
Yeah.
But the times when it's like it has literally really has gone on another level is like someone has chosen to make like a hateful comment about one of my children, and it's like, okay, I gotta stop and think about that one, because it's like, man, if you're online and you see a child and like you say something hateful about a real child, like,
No,
man, like,
that's like mental. That would get a bitch slap through the monitor from me. I'm sorry. I'm like
yeah. And I
really,
tried
really.
to be like, okay, this person must like struggle with something. Like this person must have a problem, must have something that is like, because if they don't see the reality of like, okay, the reality of a grown up, you can say something unkind to a grown up, and that's life. It happens. But like to a kid, I'm like, so because of that, I'm like,
You just don't, basically.
yeah.
I know this is your question, but that did give me my greatest tweet of all time, though. When our kid was born, our first one, our son, and I posted a picture of him online because I was a very proud daddy, obviously.
Yeah.
I just like him smiling, and I was like, my baby, he looks a bit like Vin Diesel, because he does.
He did.
And someone put in the comments, he doesn't look very bright. So I replied,
oh my fucking God.
No, it's cool.
I'm sorry, chat.
I just took the picture and I upped the brightness, and I replied with that picture, like all washed out, and I was like, "Is that better?"
It's the only way.
And like, I'm so proud of that tweet. Framed.
That's genius.
We have 2 framed tweets. That one, and that time Evie told someone to suck a dick. That's it.
Oh, I love that one. I love that one. I think you guys also called someone Twink, which I think reposted because I thought that was
every day.
hilarious. Yeah. That was
Get
fierce.
out of here, Twink.
That was fierce.
It's so mental to literally call, like, I don't know what I would do. I'm a real mama bear. I mean, everybody literally in the chat here could tell you that I'm like the most easygoing, calm, assertive, nice person. But God forbid somebody touches my friends or my kids, or my family. I go to like from like doing quests to PvPing. That's like kind of the jump that I do. So I totally get you with that. But for you together, how do you set boundaries as a couple, in such a public space and on the internet? Do you have any boundaries?
Yeah, well, I'm not allowed on the Instagram account.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't know how to use it. It's fine. He literally doesn't know the logon.
if you want to have an affair with Evertel, like DM our Insta, because I never see it. It's like.
Well, yeah. I think one of the toughest kind of boundaries in terms of having this as our life and job, and which took a while to establish, was just like, when are we not working? Like, when are we not doing this? So, when things started kicking off, like we both kind of had other work, and then it became your full-time job, and then I jumped on, and then now we are extremely privileged to have this be our work. Like, this is what we do to live for money. And like you guys, like, Art, you were saying people don't understand like the amount of things that you have to do just to create like one goofy ass Instagram post. Like it takes a bit of work, and then all of the other bits too. So I'm very lucky, but I think one of the hardest things is like, especially in the beginning, we didn't have kids and we were just together, and there's this sense that like, well, we work on the weekends. We used to do the weekly reset on a weekend. It used to just be what we did. And then, then since having a family, there's been this kind of big adjustment for us, I would say, in like, okay, we have to set actual boundaries. We have to be like, we're not going to stay up all night because we're too old for that. But, because we need to be able to be there present, like for each other and for our kids, and we can't just like, we have to find time to play WoW as well on top of all this other stuff.
Isn't it awesome, like being forced to play WoW? Though?
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's one of those things like, it's like, it's scheduling sex, right? It's like, it seems weird at the time, but then you're like, well, I'm actually really glad we did that, right? So it's like, totally.
Just, gotta keep up. So.
Yes, but this is actually already that was the next topic, which was Renown in real life.
Oh, I got our sex schedule. Okay.
Yeah, I have
that's very candid.
Elaborate.
Sorry, what was the question?
Hey, y'all, I'm maxed out. Sorry.
We're now, so no, until we get that sorted. But by the way, Evital, if you ever, what he said, the DMs that he doesn't look at it, call me. So anyway, Renown in real life. Let's keep it with you guys. Yeah, for sure. How has Renown affected your relationship, or did it? Did it in a more positive way, or did you see some negatives? Has it changed how you live or support each other, and does it affect your family life or parenting? This is also for me because I'm also a parent, in any way, for better or worse. I know.
Such a great question. And the real answer is it's hard to know, because we've been together for 15 years, but we've been doing this for 10 years. So we've been doing this longer than we weren't doing it, kind of in our relationship, so it's kind of hard to know how different our relationship would be. I know that it can be very challenging working with your partner at home, like because it means sort of the home is where sort of everything happens. But I think it's probably weirder for you than it's my parents have a long history of working together.
Your whole family is like just and when I remember when I met like your family, your parents they ran a like theater company together and acted together. It was completely normal for them, sitting around the dinner table and talking about, a thing that they're working on and building together. And I always loved this. This is so foreign to me. I didn't grow up like in that way. But I think it's like, I think it's really brilliant. It's really kind of helped shape how I approach like our life and our job and our family, like, kind of in line with what I said before about kind of like growing in confidence. Also just like as myself, as a person in a relationship. It's been like I found it to be like a real gift. Like it really is extremely special to be able to do this kind of thing together. And although I it does make me feel like a bit of an outlier, because I'll go out and I'll meet the kind of other parents, kids in school and stuff. They'll be like, oh, Jim is just being, he's working all the time.
Jim's an asshole.
Jim's just being a
Jim's an
dickhead,
guy, seriously.
And they're like, oh, you two must just hate each other.
That amazes me.
It's just amazing, and it's kind of amazing. And then sometimes I'm like, wait, I love my partner, but also I enjoy being around them a lot, and I enjoy working with them. And I get that that's not everyone. Everyone wants different things from relationships. I think we got very lucky in that this is the kind of thing we wanted from a relationship, and that it kind of felt, that it worked. Because some people are quite happy to be like, I see you for 3 hours every day. And then we do our own things, and we have our own hobbies as well. Like, again, totally normal, right? Like people, want what they want from a relationship, but it's cool that we have a hobby that we both love and share, which is also our job, which is also kind of our entire life.
If you would have told like 18-year-old Taliesin and Evitel like about your life now, what do you think they would say? Like, would they be like
have said,
genuinely surprised or?
I'd have said, "What's YouTube?
Yeah.
What's World of Warcraft? Tell me more about this girl. She sounds cool."
Yeah.
Aw.
But yeah, no, it's great for me. I love it. Like being like Evertel being forced to spend time with me all the time is fantastic, and it makes my life much better. Thank you. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I don't think I would have believed it. And again, I think I was really insecure as an 18-year-old. I thought I was really cool. I thought I was really smart. I thought I knew everything.
Well, you were smart, but
I was.
We all
But
do.
I didn't know shit. And
Exactly.
but if you would have told me that it's like I play World of Warcraft for a job and my partner does, I'd be like, no way. No way. That's not intellectual enough.
That's not Shakespeare.
That's
What?
not. That's not. You know, I would. Yeah. Young me would have been like, no way.
Well, there you go. Tally, you have a message in chat. It says, I love Tally being the ultimate wife guy in the best way. So
I'm
You're
actually
a
like,
wife guy.
I'm really thankful
You're a wife guy.
that when we did the channel, like we did it together, and that also it was, you know, I'd acted for a long time, so I really enjoyed being an actor, and I love that thing where you do a play and you come out and you're in the bar and like you're the most important person in the world, right? Because everyone there has just seen the play, and like the kind of attention you get, I really like, and I liked that. It was good for my ego and stuff like that. But I'm really, really glad that the kind of tiny modicum of fame that I've achieved, I'm like just as famous for being married as for anything else. It's like, it's really great because it's like, it's so free, because a younger me with this kind of tiny amount of fame could have been like such an asshole about it, and like having this kind of relationship and this kind of like stability is just awesome and great, and like
I feel very lucky we get to navigate it together.
And it's so good because like people on the stream, when they kind of swing by the stream for the first time, they're like, why is this guy so happy about everything? The game sucks, man. And I'm like, dude, have you seen my wife? Like, you'd be happy too.
This guy
Come
smiles too much. Why is he
So cute.
smiling so much?
Like literally so cute. Thank you so much. That's so lovely. Nemesis, has building a community changed who you are outside of the game at all?
No, not really, honestly. I think I'm just more busy. Like it's just more busy. Because again, I think to what Art was speaking about earlier, like there's just something to be said about when you are giving your authentic self out there. There's not much that really should have to change, right? Because I'm just signing on and being myself here, and then when I sign off, I'm just off camera, right, and moving throughout my house. But I mean, just in general, I feel like it's very interesting, like to see so many people from so many places. Like now, I'll pop in a stream and be like, "Hello" from the Homes of Azeroth account. They're like, "Oh my gosh, hello! Like, let me show you this house," and like that. And personally, like, I get really excited all of the time around silly stuff in this video game, and so it's just like really affirming to almost see it back, almost mirrored back at me, right? And I don't know, I've just been really enjoying that recently.
Yeah, but you basically stayed yourself, and it just perpetuated into, this community who loves you for who you are, right?
Yeah. Life has been crazy for me personally. And like I said, with everything, we all have our own personal struggles. The world has its own struggles at the moment.
Yes.
I believe in more little islands of peace and calm and serenity. And even in that, we can still be transparent. Even in that, we can still talk about. I'm not saying head in the sand, right? Because I think head in the sand is what got us in a lot of the problems that we're in today's culture, unfortunately. But more of just to say that like you feel you are free to be able to express your sadness or your anxiety around a certain type of thing, and to have the space to be able to do that. I personally have felt that. Like I now have people that I talk to on a daily basis that know what I have going on in my life, and so when something happens in the news, I can immediately then talk to some of my people and be like, oh my gosh, like I'm feeling so anxious. And like now I have friends that play WoW that are in the same state as me that are impacted by like the local things that happen within our area, let alone across the US and now across the whole globe, right? Like, and we all participate in different systems. We all come from different cultures. And so I see the biggest act of what I can personally do in this world is to expose myself to those different cultures, to those different people, to those different experiences, because in learning, you grow. And I feel like a lot of the times that's where stigmas come from. It's just like a lack of experience of interacting with a certain type of person or not knowing something about someone's culture and assuming based off of what you see online and things like that. So
Oh,
it's maybe more
thank you
intentional.
Thank you very much. That's a very, very nice comment. Art, has your online presence ever changed how you see yourself in real life?
No, not really. The only thing that it definitely affected in my real life is that it got so busy that I feel like I was not really present in my real life anymore. So I would always think about like the next thing needs to be posted or like this that needs to be done, this stream. And
Mhm.
I wasn't really like present with my like friends anymore. Cause like obviously like if this takes such a huge part of your life, you sort of then like you live in that space, you hang out with people in that space, and then when you hang out with like my other friends that have nothing to do with this, like my IRL friend group doesn't even like game. They don't really know anything about this. Like they watch my video and they're like, I love what you're doing, but I have no idea what you're saying. I just realized like I have nothing to say to them in a way. Like and that really was like one of those like turning points for me where I was like, also for my streams, I need to experience life and like make like be authentic and like present to then also be able to show up on stream and like, you know, tell a story, talk to people, you know, like just like make all of like bring these like different vibes into that because I can't just live online. That's definitely something that affected me, but no, I'm not really different in real life than I am
Okay, so
online.
you are resilient in that kind of way that, you know, if somebody tells you like Taliesin had, you know, like they keep telling him that he's racist or he's this or he's that, like, and it would never affect you to, you know, think somehow differently of yourself if people would do that.
Oh, you mean that what people assume about me?
Yeah, like would it ever change how you see yourself? You know, maybe people are different, you know.
I
Some
mean,
people would go like, "Oh, they keep telling me I'm this or that. Maybe I am sort of, you know, whatever."
there's definitely been people that have been like, "Oh, like, look what Amir is doing. What is he do? Like, that's so cringe. Whatever, blah blah blah." But I'm just like, I don't really care. I have never been happier.
That's great.
I've never been happier in my life. Like,
It kind of
the
fuels me, not gonna lie.
it does too.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. Like, you keep on pretending that you're some sort of way or whatever. I am 100% myself, and I've genuinely never been happier before. And then also obviously online, people assume some sort of thing of me. They think I'm like that my personality is not real. That like all of this is just a kind of like a character and all of that. And I'm like, okay, sure. If you think that that's the thing, then that's okay with me. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, it does affect me sometimes. Like if I'm having a bad day, and if something IRL also happened, and then all of it like stockpiles, and then someone just also says something really mean to me on the internet, I'm not gonna say that it's like always going to not affect me. Sometimes I also reply in like a very rude way. I always try to not to, but sometimes I'm just like, no, it's too easy. I have to. But most of the time, not really. No.
Sweeney just said that you're actually a French heterosexual man. So,
Yes,
so you
absolutely,
know.
100%. Oui.
Oui.
No, it's amazing basically to
Gag.
clear the room here and just you know make everybody aware this is who you are, this is you. It is not, you know, a persona, it is not, you know, some sort of act, it is literally you, who you are.
Yes.
So that's amazing. Let's talk about legacy is quite something important. Let's stay with you, Art. What do you hope people remember when they think of you?
Oof.
Ooh, heavy questions. We're
That's
nearing the end, so I have to now pull out, you know, the big guns.
that's a hard one. Um I want people when they think of me, I guess I want them to feel like safe, excited, and in generally just like, like happy. I want them to, like, when they think of me, I want them to smile and be like, yeah, like I know, like, okay, if Art's streaming tonight, I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna be able to like forget a little bit about what's going on. I think that's definitely some like legacy wise, I guess, what I would relate to the most.
Girl, I can't go past my fridge without thinking of you, so you're definitely doing a good job.
I mean, your fridge
So
left
that's,
such a
you
big
know,
impact
every
on
time I
me.
go past my fridge in real life, I'm like, the
But same with you. I see a pan and I'm like, this is Ma's pan. Like I see a pan, I just think of you.
thank you. Now I think of Rapunzel from Disney going like ding. Whoa, fair enough. I will gift you a pan for your birthday.
Oh my God,
Just
thank
so you know,
you.
for your next birthday, I'm
I
gifting
love
you a
that.
pan.
I love
Has to be
that.
that exact pan though.
Yes, please.
With, it needs to be the exact pan with what was it, a candle inside?
The candle that you
Definitely, yeah.
flipped upside and like put into the wall. Yeah, 100%.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Therese and Evitel, if if the WoW journey would suddenly end, right, or ends one day, what story would you want it to tell about you two?
Ooh.
Good question. Good question.
I mean, there were times when we thought the WoW story was going to end during Shadowlands.
I remember
People
that.
were like, "It's over.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
Wrap it up, everybody. Go."
Or I guess time for Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Time to go back. Finish. Shadowbringers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would like to hope that people would kind of see what we've done as being entertaining and present and just us. I hope that us and our like relationship, our personalities would have been reflected in that. I hope that they took something away, like very early on. The thing that really kind of kept me going with what we were doing was, we would get emails from people being like, "Hey, I just watched your video and I want to let you know something about it really resonated with me. I really like the way you did this, or I like this thing you said." And like, I'll never forget, like one of the very first ones, I guess, like fan mail that we ever got was from someone, and this is going to sound like I'm making it up because it sounds outrageous, but it was literally someone who was like,
I can't wait for the Reddit post on your made up story.
Yeah. So someone was literally like, I watched your weekly reset, and I just want to let you know, my dad died in September 11th, and I haven't laughed for a really long time, and something you said made me laugh, and it made me smile. And I got that we got that email, and I was like, holy shit.
That's amazing, though.
We made one person in the world feel something, and that was a good thing. We made them laugh, we made them smile, and I'll never forget that, because that just really stuck with me. And I was like, if I can keep doing this for like one more person, and maybe one more person, if it doesn't have to be that big of a thing, it could just be you brightened my day, a little bit, then that will have been worth it for me.
Yeah, if the WoW thing ends tomorrow, I think the thing that I would want the most is that I could stay in touch with everyone that's brought us in touch with over the course of it, which is hundreds, thousands of people who like we've had the pleasure to meet and communicate with and become friends with. And, I would like to think that would outlast like any video game or any like YouTube channel or anything like that. So I'd hope for that more than anything. But in terms of people that we haven't connected with in that way, I'd like, maybe 5 years, 10 years after the channel kind of folded or whatever, I'd like someone to be kind of scrolling through YouTube and like see one of our old videos crop up or something, and like click on it and go, "Oh yeah, you know what? They weren't as shit as I thought."
Well, I'm
Fair
quite
play.
sure that that will
Yeah.
happen eventually,
Yeah.
like in 50 years.
Yeah, totally. It's like, oh, I get that joke now. Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. Wait, that was funny.
Yeah,
That was actually
yeah.
quite funny.
That was funny. Or like, you know, my grandma used to tell me about this guy. He was funny on this like ancient YouTube app. Let's watch it.
Yes.
It's like, what is that? That's a Nyron's parents,
That's
right?
right.
It's
Yeah.
like-
Wow. Yeah.
Totally.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, look,
And yeah,
they were
hopefully our
using
kids aren't too
microphones
humiliated
back
by it.
then. How fun.
Right.
Yeah.
The computers were
Maybe that's
outside
what I
of their
should say.
body. How
Yeah,
weird.
hopefully our kids aren't too humiliated by it. Hopefully there's no bullying that happens because of it or anything
Yeah.
like that. Like, oh, your
Well-
parents don't even play COD. What?
Oh my God. Yes, amazing. Nemesis, what kind of legacy do you want your community to leave behind?
I think something that I've been really, really sitting with recently when trying to think about like how, like what my impact is in community. And I see it as almost like I've done photography for over 10 years. I've always loved capturing things for people, whether it be, beautiful moments like their engagements or weddings, graduating from school, things like that. And in a way, I hope that members of the community feel seen. They feel like they have an avenue, no matter how many followers they have, to have their talent recognized and imprinted in the social fabric of what we all do. WoW housing just came out, and a lot of these people had played other games, and those other games have such large content creation communities, specifically like Minecraft, Enshrouded, City Skylines, right? There's so many creators that are kind of just pumping out content. And I just want people to look back and see this time and to see how much joy, nothing like important, right? Like I remember day one, I was in this raiding guild when housing came out, and I didn't tell them about anything Homes of Azeroth. And someone who joined and was new was like, "What's the point of this?" And I was like, "What's the point of anything?" Right? Like nothing.
Pretty much.
Right? So when you kind of acknowledge that, in a way, it's like, well, then what's left is the magic. Like in knowing that there may not be a point to any of it, but that people still went above and beyond to express themselves. I hope that that is seen. I hope that people feel like they have a way to immortalize themselves. I don't even know how else to say that, right? Like I feel like in this world and digital spaces, it's like if you don't have the tools to do content creation, then you're kind of just left behind, right? In a little bit of a sense. It's identity and expression and having things be seen past even your lifespan can be hard. And I feel like there shouldn't be any gates to that. So if I can help archive the work and the talent and the memories and the intentions behind, these little tiny silly projects that people made and put their heart and soul into, yeah, like if WoW shut off and 10 years down the road, I would love if people just like saw our Instagrams and our socials and the YouTube videos and were just reminded that the human spirit is like the most powerful thing that we all have and that we all share, our ability to create, our ability to connect. And like even when there doesn't seem to be a meaning, there is a meaning, right? Because you can kind of create magic and share that with someone else and impact them. So
Thank you so much. That's amazing. Before we close kind of this final table, I want to give each of you one last moment and then also the ability to ask me one question if you like to. It's up to you. Art, you recently had a collab with World of Warcraft, and you had, you're now nominated. So, you are amazing as such. You're an amazing person. You're an amazing, gamer, streamer. What is one word that describes your journey?
Oh,
If you could think of one word only, what would it be?
oh
Oh, I know,
God.
I know.
Oh, this is hard. um, probably cunty.
The
Hunty.
way that someone just said that in chat, and I was dying.
If you were expecting something serious, I'm so sorry, but this is, I don't know, like.
I love you so bad.
You're being you. Love it.
Love it.
Yeah, anyway,
The
that's
chat
it.
is going wild. They know. They know. Oh, Kanti, I'm gonna write that down and hand you a badge where it's just
Thank you very much. Thank you.
no problem there. Nemesis, what is one message, if you could just write one sentence, one message that you would want to leave to your community, which one would it be?
Everybody has a story. What sets you aside?
Oh, okay. Well, at least it's not something with Kanti that we're on to something. That's our
I
thing.
like that quote. I like that. I don't even really remember where it came from or why it started to resonate with me, but I've had a crazy life. Everyone's had their own version of crazy. I sometimes I think we let those experiences shape us and too much. And I don't know, it's just it has this sense of perspective of you can be going through the worst, you could be having, the most horrible. I see these videos sometimes, they're like existential accounts and they like get you to think, and it'll be like of like a giant square where people are crossing, and over people's heads it says like the problem that they're currently dealing with, and like it gives you this kind of macro scale of like, wow, like we're all like just on this roller coaster of life together. And so for me, I hope that people kind of walk away with a sense of, yes, although being impacted by things can be hard and it can be stressful to deal with, but that sense of community, like everybody's feeling those things, even if we don't talk about it. And so, yeah, I think that's kind of the big thing. It's just a reminder of that we all have stories, we all have reasons for doing the things that we do, but when it comes down to it, what sets you aside from the other person, right? Is that the life that you walk? Is that through the actions that you do? Is it through the platforms that you provide? Is it, the jokes that you make at the expenses of certain people, right? It's all of those things, and it's just a reminder that even, we may not always see our actions and the way that it impacts other people, but that doesn't mean that our actions didn't impact other people. So I think that there's this sense of reflection that a lot of our culture just really doesn't enable at the moment, because we're all just kind of a little overwhelmed and a little crazed. And personally, I can only control like how I interact with something. So I've been really trying to sit back with that reflection piece and just apply it in as many senses as possible.
No, thank you so much. I love it. Tali and Evital, what is one feeling that you take with you from tonight?
Or can we have two feelings? One for each of us?
I'm probably going to share yours.
No, shared brain cell.
just rubbing together one brain cell. I mean, it's a feeling of inclusion for me. I mean, I love that you've brought us together today. I love that we've gotten to talk about our kind of communities, how they overlap. But yeah, like at the end of the day, I'm a person and I'm a human, and I love feeling connected and included. And I was a very solitary, shy child, and now I'm a grown-up who people might like project things onto and think I lead a certain life. But just like literally everyone, I get excited if I log onto Discord and someone, you know, wants to talk to me and like connect with me. And, you know, we're lucky that we have each other for that. And we're lucky that we have like the community and the WoW community. Yeah, it's the best thing about it.
Yeah, I'll
for me.
elaborate on that as well. I think, you know, we were talking earlier about how excited we were when we first got involved with the community about how many people that we looked up to would include us. And that sense of genuine kind of thrill at being included in the community is something that's never left us, because now we get really excited when we're at an event or something and a whole bunch of younger creators will deign to include us in their circle, and they're like, it's amazing, and newer creators, and even if they're not younger, and it's that sense of inclusion has always been a feature of not just our kind of like creator life, but always also our like WoW life in general. And it's kind of amazing how that's never left us. And tonight has been an amazing example of that. So thank you for including us. And it's been a joy. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. I am opening quickly because there was some questions in chat if they can ask me also something. So if you have any question for me, please ask now, and then we're already at.
I feel like I need to know more about like the pan. What
the pan?
Describe the pan.
Okay, I've been piecing it together, right? Because I haven't seen it, and I'm sorry, but like, it's weird that I haven't seen it. But I'm from what I've deduced, it's a pan with a candle in it, but also like a fridge.
It's basically, what's it called? Come on, chat, help me out, or Art, help me out. What's the name of the item?
It's just like it's the basic item you get at the like neighborhood
Or
vendor,
AJ,
which is
what
like
is the item called?
it's like the candle in this like little bowl thing with a stick coming
sure.
out. Yeah.
I have
it's
no idea what it's
basically
called.
like you can buy it off the vendor at Founder's Point. It's just literally the candle in the little bowl.
Oh yeah, like the little candlestick on the.
I use that behind walls to create like a light glow.
Exactly.
I turned
to kind of like
the wooden chamber stick.
And they looked like lots of pans on the wall because I have a restaurant.
And it blew my
with
mind.
their own lighting as well, though. So
perfect.
Amazing.
Yeah, and he saw that and he went, all over, even though the kitchen is just like a copy of my grandmother's kitchen, and it's not, a fancy big, kitchen, a restaurant style kitchen. It's just literally a copy of my grandma's kitchen. But like Art loved the pans and the fridge. So that was the pan story.
Yeah. Amazing. I get excited about very small things, like very excited.
I like the idea that you've got this repressed childhood memory of being like, Gran, your pans are on fire on the other side. What's going on?
Yeah.
You actually got more excited about my ceiling, but nobody looked at the ceiling after the fridge and the pans. So
hard to get past those.
Yes.
What inspired you to start this series? Because this is like the best podcast I've ever been on. I've just thoroughly enjoyed my evening tonight. Thank you. It's been like just such a great thing.
Please don't say that. I'm like literally like I was fangirling so bad, as said before. So I'm at my limit. What made me? Oh well, I didn't really want to kind of involve it into this talk almost at all. Because I don't find that it fits the theme. But now that you're asking, basically I got diagnosed with cancer. I started streaming in November, and in December I got diagnosed with cancer, and it reached stage 4, an osteosarcoma on my back. And they gave me literally in December or January, they gave me 9 to 12 months to live. And I was already into the streaming, and people could see my health deteriorating, and, me kind of, losing my hair, cutting my hair shorter, all of it, falling asleep midstream, having to go away because, chemo and stuff. And at some point I reached a point where I was like, I want to, legacy-wise, I want to leave something behind that even if something happens to me would make an impact. So that's why I started Ma's Table Talk, which had only 4 episodes to go with. and it's my birthday on Friday. So I was like, I'm gonna finalize it with this episode, and then just, kind of have it as a thing that will stay there if my kids grow up without me, or if my friends want to see me again, on the stream, they can just go back to YouTube and watch it. And I wanted to meet all of these amazing people. And then I met AJ through, Homes of Azeroth and housing, and he, was pressuring me to open a GoFundMe, and my husband then did, because as you two know and realize, when you love somebody very, very much, and stuff like this happens where, you can't really do anything else except try to raise the money. And me and my husband are, by the way, tanking together in our guild. So we're both tanks. We're co-tanking. And it's just, this is what made me do this podcast. I wanted something that's going to be my legacy, because I'm not as good as making, treadmills in my house, or like, I don't know, Ajara temples, and I'm not like, I don't have a 3K rating, nor do I have, I don't know, every boss killed on Mythic. But what I do good is I keep my community, safe. I love them to bits. Like, everybody in my community knows that they're loved, that, I will support them, that I will be there for them until my last breath if need be. And yeah, so this is why I did this. I did it to actually, leave a mark, because I'm not sure that I have, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. I might, or I might not, but I wanted to leave that mark now. So when I wrote all of you and you genuinely responded, like after a day, that you will participate, I was on the floor for like 2 hours. So thank you for that. But it's just a legacy thing. I want you to realize that you have been a part, all of you, like, Nemesai, with becoming one of my bestest friends, and Art, who has made me famous, which I'm so not, but, like, literally, he gave me that little push that I needed. And Taliesin and Evital for being such a huge inspiration, and, like, literally the thing we all strive to be when we do this and when we stream, is to have, we can never go close to your wits, or, how you speak and what you do, but, to just see you there like shining stars, and we're kind of slowly moving towards you. That's basically the end goal. And now I have talked too much. Goodbye.
I think
No,
you've made
that's
something really
great.
beautiful here.
Thank you.
I think this is like a great show.
Like,
It's
what
fantastic.
a privilege and
Yeah.
honor to be a part of it. Genuinely, like,
Thank
yeah.
you so much.
It's-
It started off, I'll be really honest, because I always am, and everybody knows me as such. First episode was kind of, okay, let's get people involved to get more reach, to, get people to, get to the GoFundMe, and, help out, share, whatever. By episode 2, my husband was like, this is you. This is what you love to do. This is who you are, because I'm an office manager and an executive assistant by trade, and I'm a multitasker, and I love this. I love, going through people's social medias, getting to know them, making questions, kind of this talk show thing. I love it. I love it. So he was like, this has now become more than, what you said, Evital, really resonated with me, which was like, it's suddenly something more. You just are genuinely surprised about you finding something that you truly, utterly love, and where you feel comfortable in, and, like, that makes your stomach go like this, cramping out of joy, not out of fear or anything else, but literally out of pure joy of doing it. So this has become like my safe haven. And if, whatever I do, if my treatment that, is hopefully, well, we're not there yet, but, if it works, and if I make it, then I will definitely continue doing mass table talk, but in a more maybe like podcast-ish, one-on-one sort of thing. But we will see. We never know. I am supposed to have my surgery on Monday, which is in 48 hours, and we're nowhere close our goal. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Oh, and also, by the way, what you, Taliesin and Evital, do not know, but the others do know, is that I take housing decors and I make them in real life. So we have
Really well.
I did
copies
not know that.
Yeah.
that you actually can, I recreate. So if you, I'll send you just some stuff so you don't need to check out my Insta because it's full of stupid stuff.
Oh, I've seen it.
Uh,
I've seen it.
yeah,
I've
I
seen
made
it. I've seen it.
on
I can look
Friday.
it up.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, so you're also checking me out. Okay, good. Thank you.
Always.
But on Friday, I'm gonna make that new plater with the strawberry pie and the strawberry cake that you can buy
Ooh.
For
Song
Silvermoon,
Woods. So I'm
yeah.
gonna make that for my birthday. So there's gonna be a video about that. So I'm hopeful it's gonna be, good. But thank you so much for coming here and giving, everybody the opportunity to get to know you and to also kind of in the end get to know me. This table was actually never about being known. It was about being felt. So, like about leaving warm play in places, like leaving warmth in places we may never return to. And if there is one thing tonight that tonight has shown me, it's basically that renown isn't what we build for ourselves; it's what we become in the hearts of others. So, thank you so much for making me and everybody else realize that. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Ma, for having us. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank
I'm
you.
not emo. I'm trying not to be emo right now. It's fine.
Oh no,
Everything's fine.
I know him. I know him. Anyway, yes, I'm gonna keep it. Ooh, I'm already past our time. I was like 10 p.m. Server server time. We're gonna stop it. But again, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. And if by some miracle I ever see you, I will give you the most biggest guardian bear hug that I can.
Look forward to it.
Yeah.
We'll hold you to it.
Especially
we
if
will.
it's also you, Tally, you can go off and have some
Fair,
fun.
honestly, yeah. I get that a lot.
She's the most gorgeous woman I have ever seen. I'm sorry. Like I'm
That's
married, I know. So I'm sorry.
Oh,
Thank you
Okay,
guys. This was
thank you
great.
so much, guys. I very much love you and appreciate you, and I'm hopeful that we are, our paths will cross again.
I hope so too.
I'm sure of it.
I'm sure.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Have a good
Bye.
night.
Lovely chatting with all of you
Yeah,
guys.
it's been a privilege. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Love you.
Have a good
Bye.
night, everyone.
Have a good night, stream, chat. Bye bye.